floating on the cloud. A dreamy journey in the night sky. You are sitting on the porch swing. It is the end of a summer day, the kind that has been full, and warm, and long, the kind that asks a great deal of the body, and delivers in return a tiredness that is not unpleasant, a heaviness that feels earned. The swing moves very slightly beneath you, a slow and easy back and forth, that you are not quite doing, but not quite not doing, that has found its own rhythm, the way porch swings always do, the way rocking always does, once the body has settled, and the evening has arrived, and there is nothing left to be done. The air is warm. Not the heat of the afternoon, that has softened now, has pulled back from the day's full intensity into something more generous, more forgiving, a warmth that wraps rather than presses, that is present without being demanding. It carries in it the full distillation of the summer evening, the smell of the grass, long and sun-warmed and breathing its green fragrance into the cooling air. The faint sweetness of something flowering at the garden's edge. The particular smell of a summer evening near water, which is its own thing entirely, cool and clean and faintly mineral. The lake sending its breath up across the property in long slow exhalations that reach the porch and settle over you like something gentle and well-intentioned. You can see the lake from here. It is far out, at the edge of the property, where the grass meets the water in a line that is soft rather than sharp. The reeds and the long grasses leaning over the water's edge. The lake beginning where the land is willing to let it. From here, in the last of the evening light, it is a mirror, flat and silver and perfectly still, holding the colors of the sky above it so faithfully that it is difficult to say where the sky ends and the water begins. The trees on the far bank are reflected in it, doubled, inverted, their dark shapes reaching downward into a depth that is really only sky. The sun is going down behind you. You feel it in the changing quality of the light across the property, the way the shadows are lengthening, reaching out across the grass in long, thin lines toward the lake. The way the color of everything has shifted from the clear gold of afternoon to something deeper, something more amber, something that makes even the ordinary things, the grass, the dock at the water's edge, the old wooden fence along the property line, look briefly extraordinary, briefly lit from within. You let your eyes go soft. This is something the porch swing does. This particular combination of the gentle rocking and the warm air and the view across the grass to the water, and the evening doing its slow, reliable work on the sky. It loosens something behind the eyes, makes the focused grip of looking relax into something more like receiving, more like being present without effort, without agenda. The lake holds its silver light. The trees at its edge are very still. The evening is very quiet. The swing rocks you, very gently, back and forward. Back and forward. Your hands are loose in your lap. Your shoulders have dropped from wherever they were an hour ago to somewhere lower and more reasonable. Somewhere the body actually wants them to be when nothing is required of them. Your head rests back against the swing's cushion. And the cushion is exactly as soft as it needs to be. And your eyes are open but only just, the lashes lowering, the world beyond them softening at its edges, the way the world softens when the body is beginning to make its case for sleep. You are not asleep. Not yet. You are in that country just before it. That warm, borderless, softly luminous place where thought moves slowly and without urgency. Where the boundary between what you are seeing and what you are imagining becomes pleasantly unclear. Where the mind, relieved at last of the day's demands, begins to drift in the way that only very relaxed minds drift. Gently, without direction, following whatever current presents itself. And so when you see the cloud, you are not entirely sure, at first, whether you are seeing it or dreaming it. It descends slowly, from somewhere above and to the left, dropping with a patience and a deliberateness that real clouds don't have. A softness of intention that belongs more to the world behind closed eyes than to the sky above a summer evening. It is large. Larger than clouds usually seem when you are standing beneath them. But from the porch swing, watching it come down across the evening sky, its scale feels simply right, feels appropriate to what it is doing, which is arriving, which is offering. It settles at the lake's edge. Softly, without sound, the way the best arrivals are soundless. Simply there, suddenly, where a moment ago there was only grass and reeds and the silver water beginning. It rests against the ground the way a very large, very soft thing rests when it has decided to stop moving. Completely, gently, without fuss. Its edges lap against the grass and the reeds and the still surface of the water like something between fog and substance. And in the last gold light of the evening it glows faintly. Faintly rose, faintly amber, lit from the inside by the colors the sunset has been building all this time. You watch it from the swing. And then, without deciding to, the way you do things in that country between waking and sleep, the way the body moves in dreams before the mind has had a chance to consider whether moving is a good idea. You stand. The grass is warm under your feet as you step off the porch. Bare feet on summer grass in the evening is one of those sensations that belongs to a particular and irreplaceable category of good. The warmth of it, the slight give of it, the way each blade bends under your foot and springs back as you lift it. The smell that rises from it as you walk. Green and alive and entirely summer. You walk across the property toward the lake's edge, toward the cloud, and the evening air moves around you as you go, warm and slow, and carrying its cargo of grass and water, and the faintest sweetness of the flowers you pass. The cloud waits. It does not drift or shift or dissipate the way real clouds do when you approach them. It simply waits, patient and still, and entirely certain of itself. The way things wait when they know you are coming, when they have been expecting you. You reach the lake's edge. The grass here is longer, softer, cool with the water's proximity, and the reeds lean over the edge of the bank in their slow and perpetual bow toward the water. The lake is very still beside you, its surface unmarked, the sky reflected in it so perfectly that you feel briefly as though you are standing at the edge of two skies. One above, and one below, both of them rose and gold and the deep, gathering blue of the evening. The cloud is right there, close enough to touch. And you reach out. Slowly, the way you reach for things in dreams, with a certainty that the reaching will be rewarded, and your hand finds the edge of it. It is the softest thing you have ever touched. Cool and faintly damp and entirely without resistance. Your fingers moving through it the way fingers move through the thinnest, most delicate silk imaginable. Except that silk has edges and this has none. It simply receives your hand, surrounds your fingers, holds them in something that is simultaneously there and not there, present and insubstantial, real in the way that only the most important things are real. You step onto it, and it holds you. Completely, immediately, without any of the hesitation or adjustment that a new surface usually requires. It holds you the way it was always going to hold you, as though holding you specifically was what it was made for, what it has been doing all its existence in one form or another. And you are simply the latest and most welcome version of the thing it is built to carry. You lower yourself into it. This takes a moment. Not because it is difficult, but because it is so extraordinary that the body wants to do it slowly, wants to feel each stage of it. The way you eat something extraordinary slowly, so that nothing is wasted. First sitting, your hands pressing into the cloud surface on either side of you and sinking into the wrist with no resistance whatsoever. The softness closing around them like water closes around hands. Except warm. Warmer than water, warm the way the best things are warm. Then lying back. Slowly. Feeling the cloud rise to meet you as you go, accommodating the full length of you, your back and your shoulders, and the backs of your arms, and your legs, and your heels, each part of you received as it arrives, held as it settles. You are lying on the cloud. And it is. There is only one word and it is barely enough. Soft. Not the softness of a pillow or a duvet or the deepest sofa you have ever sunk into, though it contains something of all of those. A softness beyond the reach of anything the solid world has managed. A softness that seems to have been assembled specifically from every comfortable thing you have ever felt, distilled and gathered and made into this surface, this substance, this impossible and entirely real thing that is holding you now from every direction at once with a pressure so light and so complete that it stops feeling like pressure and starts feeling like the absence of weight. Like floating. Like being weightless while being held. You are safe. This is the thing that settles over you next, after the softness. A sense of safety so complete and so physical that it is almost its own sensation. Something felt in the chest and the shoulders, and the jaw, which unclenches a little more. You are held at this height above the ground by something that has decided, entirely and without reservation, to hold you. That is capable of holding you. That will go on holding you for as long as you are here. That asks nothing of you in return except that you allow it. You allow it. The swing creaks very softly somewhere behind you. In the part of your mind that is still on the porch. Still in the warm evening. Still half asleep in the cushions with the lake glinting at the far edge of the property. It is a sound you hear from a great and comfortable distance. Like a sound heard through the walls of a warm room from somewhere outside. Present. Familiar. Doing nothing except confirming that all is well. That you are exactly where you are supposed to be. That the porch and the swing and the summer evening are all still there, and will be there when you return. But right now the cloud is beginning to rise. So slowly. The grass at the lake's edge drops away beneath you. Or you rise away from it. Which is the same thing experienced differently. The reeds at the water's edge, which were at eye level a moment ago, are now below you, leaning toward the water in their perpetual graceful bow. The lake itself appears beneath you as you rise. That perfect silver mirror, reflecting the evening sky, and now reflecting you. A small figure on a cloud, rising through the colors of the sunset with the unhurried ease of something that was always going to go up and is now simply doing so. The air changes as you climb. Cooler and moving. Not a wind. Not anything so insistent as that. But a current, the sky's own breathing. Passing across your face and through your hair in a continuous, gentle flow. It is the most calming thing you have felt all day. This cool, unhurried movement of air across your skin. This constant and entirely reliable sensation that asks nothing of you and gives everything. That simply happens. That has been happening all along up here where you have never been before and where everything is as it should be. You run your fingers along the edge of the cloud. They move through something that has no equivalent below. Cool and insubstantial and present. The cloud's edge neither solid nor empty but something the language of solid things was never built to name. You feel the faint dampness of it against your fingertips. The coolness that is not cold, and you think. Or the part of you that is still thinking thinks. That this is what it would feel like to hold a piece of sky. The smell of the air up here is extraordinary. Clean in a way that has no comparison. The smell of air that has not yet descended to where the living things are. That has not yet accumulated the warmth and complexity of fields and flowers and all the breathing world below. It is the smell of altitude, of openness, of the sky in its own nature, before it becomes weather, or climate, or atmosphere. It is the smell of something original, something that has simply always been here, doing what air does, being what air is, and it reaches you now as a freshness so complete that it travels all the way to the bottom of the lungs and rests there like something curative, something that is very quietly and very certainly doing you good. Beneath it, rising from below, softened by distance, the smell of the lake, your summer evening, your grass and your garden and the flowers at the property's edge. It rises to meet you as you climb, carried upward on the warm thermals of the summer evening, and it is already a memory smell, already nostalgic with distance though you left only minutes ago. The green of the reeds, the particular clean coldness of the water, the warmth of the grass in the last of the sun. It arrives up here as something that makes the chest feel full in the best possible way, as something that says, without words, that is yours, that is where you belong, and it will be there when you return. The sky ahead of you is extraordinary. You turn your face west and the sunset is everything it promised to be from the porch. And more, because you are inside it now, floating through it rather than watching it from below. The colors not of you but a surrounding, not a painting but a world. The gold that was beginning at the horizon when you left the swing has deepened and spread, climbing the sky in long, warm waves, warming the blue above it into something that has no name, a color between blue and gold that is both and neither, that exists only at this hour and only for these few minutes, and nowhere else in all the world. The clouds at the horizon, other clouds, lower, scattered in long irregular shapes across the western sky, are catching the light. You watch them change as you float toward them and past them. First just their edges brightening, a gilding, a warming of the white into cream, and then into the palest gold. Then the light finding their undersides and turning them amber, turning them the color of honey held up to a warm lamp, the color of something glowing from within. Each one different from the last, each one a different interpretation of the same extraordinary light. The whole western sky a gallery of the same color done 1,000 different ways. And the sky between them. The gold spreading upward from the horizon in a wash that deepens as it goes. The blue retreating and transforming as it does. Becoming a deeper blue. A blue with violet in it. A blue that is neither evening nor night but the precise and temporary color of the transition between them, which is perhaps the most beautiful color there is because it lasts for such a short time and cannot be held, and does not try to be. Pink arrives from the gold the way music sometimes arrives from silence. Inevitably, as though it was always going to be there. As though the gold was always just the beginning. The clouds at the horizon go coral. Go salmon. Go the color of the inside of a shell. The color spreads into the sky between them. Into the deep blue above, softening everything. Warming everything. And your cloud catches it too. You feel the shift, the faint warm rose of it against your upturned face, The cloud beneath you holding the color the way clouds hold everything the light gives them, completely and without preference, reflecting back exactly what they are given. You are floating inside the sunset. Inside it. Not watching it from a porch or a window or the bank of a lake, but floating through the middle of it. The colors all around you, above and to every side. The cloud beneath you faintly rose. The air between you and the horizon a luminous, breathing, endlessly shifting field of color that is making itself in real time, and will never be exactly this again. And then, the birds. You hear them first, as you always hear the things that matter, before you see them, in the body before the eyes. A sound like wind in leaves but rhythmic, alive, pulsing. And then they appear from the south, a long V of them, geese, perhaps, or something similar, large and purposeful and moving with the unhurried authority of creatures that know exactly where they are going, and have done this journey enough times that it has become as natural as breathing. They pass not far above you, close enough that you can hear the air moving through their wings. That soft, intimate, rushing sound. The sound of something alive using its body for exactly the purpose it was made for. Effortlessly. Completely. Without remainder. They pass in their long V formation, each bird slightly behind the one before it. Each one riding the air disturbed by the one ahead. The whole formation a single moving thing made of many individual certainties, heading south and west toward wherever they go when the light goes low. You watch them until they are small against the rose and gold of the western sky. And then until they are smaller. And then until they are a single dark comma against the colors. And then until even that is gone, and the sky is quiet again. And vast and luminous and entirely yours. You look down. The world below has continued its own quiet evening while you have been rising through this one. The lake is still there. You can see it clearly from here. That silver mirror at the edge of your property. And the dock. And the long grass. And the cloud's absence from the water's edge where it settled and waited for you. The house is there too. The porch just visible. The swing moving very slightly in the evening breeze as though someone is still sitting in it. Everything is small. Beautifully, mercifully, restfully small. The property that contains your entire familiar world is from up here. A small green shape among other green shapes, bordered by the gleam of the water on one side, and the soft dark line of the trees line on the other. The lane that leads to it from the road is a thin pale thread. The road itself barely visible. Beyond it, fields, and more fields. And the occasional cluster of rooftops that means a town. And further still the suggestion of hills going blue with distance. And beyond that the sky. And in the sky, you. Floating. Held. At rest. The world looks, from here, like something that will be fine. like something that has been fine for a long time, and will go on being fine in all the ways that matter, quietly and without drama, doing what it does, sustaining what it sustains, the fields, and the water, and the lanes, and the rooftops, all going about their ancient business with a competence and a patience that asks for no oversight, and requires no worry. You feel the last of the worry leave your shoulders. It goes the way things go when you finally stop holding them. Not dramatically, not all at once, but in a long, slow exhale, the shoulders dropping a fraction further into the cloud, the chest opening a little more, the jaw releasing the last of what it has been keeping. The sun touches the horizon. You watch it, that final, deliberate descent, the great disk of it deepening from gold to amber, to a burning, generous orange as it nears the edge of the world. For a long, suspended moment the whole western sky is the color of embers, of a fire that has been burning all day and is now, contentedly, going out. And then the sun slips below the line of the earth, and the color begins its long, slow, beautiful cooling. The rose deepens to violet. The gold cools to silver. And the sky begins its ancient transformation, the one it has been making every evening since there was an evening to make it. From light to dark, from seen to felt, from the world of color into the world of depth, the purple descending and the stars beginning to show themselves one by one in the eastern sky, where the night arrives first. The first star. You see it without looking for it. A single point of cold, clear, certain light in the deep blue violet above you. Still. Patient. It has been there all day, invisible in the brightness, and now the brightness has gone enough to let it be seen. And there it is, the first one, as it has been the first one on every clear evening since the beginning of evenings. You hold it in your gaze for a moment. Just that. Just looking at the first star of the night with the simple, uncomplicated attention it deserves. It does not twinkle yet. It is simply there, fixed and calm and entirely reliable. A light that has been traveling toward you for longer than you can meaningfully imagine, and has arrived here tonight. At this moment. To be seen by you on your cloud above your lake in the last of your summer evening. Another appears. Slightly further south. Slightly brighter. One of the evening's confident early arrivals. Then another. Then two more. Close together, as though they came out for company. The sky is generous with them now. The darkness deepening by the minute. The stars multiplying in response. Each new degree of dark bringing a new tier of them out of the invisible into the visible. The sky filling from sparse to scattered, to rich to something that approaches abundance. The cloud drifts. You are barely aware of moving, barely aware of direction. The motion is so gentle and so constant that it has become simply part of being here. Like the air on your face or the warmth of the cloud beneath you, something that is happening without requiring your attention. You are going somewhere and you don't need to know where. The cloud knows. The cloud has always known. The moon arrives. It has been there in the sky already, pale and translucent in the last of the evening light, more suggested than seen. But now, with the darkness fully gathered around it, it asserts itself, full and silver and rising in the east with the slow, certain authority of something that has been doing this since long before there were eyes to watch it, and will go on doing it long after. Its light is cool and extraordinary, so much brighter than the stars around it that they dim in its company. The sky near the moon going a deeper, richer blue to accommodate the contrast. Your cloud catches the moonlight. You feel the shift, the warm gold of the sunset long gone now, replaced entirely by something cooler and more silver. The cloud beneath you and around you luminous in the moon's glow, generating a light of its own that is entirely borrowed and entirely beautiful. You look at your hands, where they rest open on the cloud's surface, and they are silver in the moonlight, pale and still, and the cloud around them glows softly, and the sky above is dark and full and the stars are everywhere. The air on your face is the coolest it has been. Not cold, not uncomfortable, but present in the particular way of night air, which carries in it a quality that day air never quite manages. A stillness within the movement, a depth within the coolness, as though the night has its own temperature that is not merely the absence of the sun's warmth, but something in its own right. Something that the body recognizes and responds to by going quieter, by slowing, by beginning its long and willing descent toward sleep. Your eyes are growing heavy. Not the heavy of tiredness exactly, the heavy of completion. Of a body that has been given everything the evening had to give and has received it fully, and is now, in the most natural way imaginable, beginning to close. The stars are very bright. The moon is very steady. The cloud is softer than it was at the beginning. Or perhaps you have simply become more aware of it as the rest of the world has fallen away. The softness beneath you deeper than you remembered. More complete. More absolute. Your breathing has found the rhythm of the cloud. In. Out. In. Out. The same slow pulse. Almost, as the swing on the porch. That gentle back and forth that started this whole evening. That rocked you into the drowsiness that brought you here. That is still there somewhere at the back of the mind like a memory of motion. Like the body's oldest lullaby. The cloud begins, very gently, to wrap itself around you. Not constraining, the opposite of constraining. The edges of it rising softly on either side, curling upward and over you like the largest, softest blanket imaginable, until you are not lying on the cloud so much as lying inside it. Enclosed, cradled, the softness now in every direction. Below you and above you and to each side. a cocoon of the gentlest possible substance, warm and weightless and entirely surrounding. The stars are visible above you still, diffused now through the thin upper layer of the cloud that has folded itself over you, their individual points softened into a general luminous warmth. The whole sky above a faint and silver glow that is all the stars together seen through something as soft as a breath. The moon is somewhere above it all, patient and steady, its light reaching you as a warmth more felt than seen, a brightness at the very threshold of sleep. You can hear, very faintly, the lake. Or perhaps you are imagining it, that faint, cool, silver sound of still water at the edge of a property on a summer night. The sound it makes when the evening has gone completely quiet and there is nothing between you and it but the warm night air. It reaches you up here as something barely heard, something felt rather than heard. A frequency the body knows from all the evenings spent on the porch with the swing moving, and the light going, and the lake holding its mirror to the sky. Home. The word arrives not as a thought but as a feeling. A warmth in the chest. A loosening. The particular and irreplaceable sensation of knowing exactly where you belong, and knowing that it is waiting for you, and knowing that you will be there soon. The cloud begins, so slowly, to descend. You feel it in the way the stars above you very gradually grow brighter as the light pollution of the world below becomes warmer. Closer, more present. The sky above deepening as the earth below rises to meet you. The smells of the summer night becoming richer. The grass, the water, the flowers, the warm wood of the porch. All of it strengthening as you descend, drawing you gently and inevitably back toward the world you came from. The lake appears below you. That silver mirror, that patient water, holding the moon's reflection now in a long white road across its surface. The reeds at its edge black and still. The dock a pale shape in the moonlight. The property is lit with that cool silver light, the grass washed white, the porch just visible, the swing still. The cloud carries you past the lake, past the long grass and the garden edge and the flower bed and the porch steps. Everything familiar and silver and perfectly still in the summer night. And then through the open window, gently, completely, impossibly, the cloud moving through the space with the ease of something that has always been able to go wherever it is needed, that has never been stopped by walls or glass or the ordinary rules of solid things. Your room. The smell of it. Your particular smell. The smell of your own space and your own things and the warmth that has been accumulating here all day, waiting for you, rises around you as the cloud settles, very slowly, toward the bed. Your bed, with its familiar sheets and its known geography of comfort. Its particular give and warmth that no other bed in the world has ever quite replicated. The cloud lowers you, with the same gentleness with which it received you, deliberately, completely, without a single jarring moment. Your weight returns to you so gradually that you barely feel the transition. The cloud's perfect softness giving way by degrees to the familiar softness of your own bed, until you are lying not in the cloud but in your bed, and the cloud is still around you, or the memory of it is, or the feeling of it has simply become the feeling of your own sheets, and your own pillow, and your own bed, in your own room, on a summer night with the window open and the cool air moving through it. The stars are outside your window. You can see them from here. The same stars you have been watching all evening from your cloud. Still there. Still steady. Still burning with the same patient certainty. The moon has moved across the window, its light falling across the floor in a pale rectangle, and outside the window the summer night is warm and still, and the lake is somewhere out there in the dark, holding its mirror to the sky. Your eyes are almost closed. The pillow is soft beneath your head in the way that only your pillow is soft. The familiar kind of soft. The remembered kind. The kind the body has been looking forward to without knowing it all through the long day. Your hands are open at your sides. Your shoulders are somewhere they haven't been all day. Low. Released. Unburdened, the whole length of you heavy in the best possible way, the heaviness of a body that has been somewhere extraordinary and has come home. The cloud, wherever it is now, is still in your mind. You can feel it in the lightness of the air, in the softness of the night, in the extraordinary ease with which your body is resting. Something of the cloud's nature has come back with you. Some quality of that high and luminous floating, and it is in the bed now. In the room. In the warm summer air coming through the open window. In the sound of the night outside, which is very quiet and very full at once. Your breathing is almost too slow to notice. In the summer night, the cool air from the window, the smell of the room, the smell of home, the faint green memory of the grass and the lake carried in on the air from outside. Out. The last of everything. The last of the day. The last of the effort, the last of the held and the kept and the managed. All of it going out on this breath, this long, slow, final breath of the evening, leaving behind only this. The bed, the room, the moon outside the window, the stars. The stars, still there. Still burning, still crossing the sky with the same unhurried certainty they have always had, the same patience, the same complete indifference to whether any particular person is awake to see them. They will be there when you wake. They will be there long after. They are always there, patient and constant. And cold and beautiful, on the other side of the window, on the other side of sleep. You are on this side now. The warm side. The held side. The side where the pillow is soft and the sheets are familiar and the summer night is coming through the window and the cloud is somewhere out above the lake. Drifting. Silver in the moonlight. Patient, waiting. But not for you. Not tonight. Tonight you are where you are supposed to be. Your eyes close. The room is warm. The night is quiet. The stars are outside the window and the moon is crossing the floor in its slow silver rectangle, and somewhere out there, the lake is holding the sky's reflection in its dark impatient mirror. And the porch swing is still, and the summer evening that began all of this is complete, is whole, is finished in the way that only the best days finish. Not abruptly, not with effort, but with a long, gradual, grateful dissolving into the dark. You are asleep. Or you are nearly asleep. Or you are in that place where the difference no longer matters, where the cloud, and the bed, and the stars, and the swing, and the lake have become one continuous, soft, silver, beautiful thing that holds you completely and asks only that you rest. Rest. The cloud carried you here. The night will keep you. And the morning, when it comes, and it will come, warm and unhurried, the lake catching the first light, the swing waiting on the porch, the summer continuing its long and generous business. The morning will find you exactly here. Held. Warm. Entirely at peace. Sleep now. You are home.